from Caleb's Kung Fu Cinema YouTube channel, and we're going to talk about some of our favorite, memorable, badass martial arts kung fu villains. Caleb, good morning to you. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm doing all right. This is kind of a new thing. You're the first guest or co-live streaming with out there. If somebody jumps into the live stream, we'll give them a shout out if you're watching this on the archive. When the VOD, leave a comment. Let us know what some of your favorite villains are in the martial arts world. We're going to talk about. We got three subjects. We're going to talk about our favorite, our memorable, badass Shaw Brothers movie villain, Jet Li, and then we're going to finish it off with a Jackie Chan villain, and we'll sort of see how things go. Are you Caleb? Are you a lifelong martial arts cinema kung fu fan, or is this something you got into on the recent take?
I've actually been a fan for as long as I can remember. When I first got into kung fu films, I remember it quite vividly. I was 3 years. My dad introduced me to. He showed me the film Fist of Fury, and I I remember thinking that movie was so. Thinking Bruce Lee was so cool, and how beating up all the bad guys by himself, and I just thought it was really awesome. And I guess my dad thought, okay, this is something that he and I can enjoy together. So they started showing me everything else. Jackie Chan and all that. So it's pretty much a lifelong.
Alrighty. You're starting now that you're talking more. The audio's cutting out a little bit, but I maybe it's just on my side, and then maybe it's going through or something. So
Yeah, I don't know.
we'll see. We'll see if we get anybody jump in if they let us know that if the audio is clear and clean in chat or something. Well, with that, we'll try and keep things brief or something. Let's start off with the Shaw Brothers. Shaw Brothers martial arts, kung fu. Do you want to kick things off and let us know who your pick was for that?
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Um, so I told you when we were discussing this earlier this week, I actually didn't get into Shaw Brothers until about 3 years ago. I had known Shaw Brothers a little bit before. I was mainly a Golden Harvest fan because that's what my dad was into. He loved the Golden Harvest stuff, indie films. But I was a big fan of. So I didn't know until about 3 years ago. The very first Shaw Brothers films I watched was Five Deadly Venoms, and my when I saw that movie, I absolutely loved it. And the villain in that film, the Scorpion, like I've always thought of him as the main villain character. So when I saw that movie, and spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, the Scorpion, who's the third, he is revealed to be the master of everything. He's like the ultimate bad guy. He wasn't the last one to die, but he was like the brilliance behind everything. So I, I always love that about that movie. So I'd have to say, as far as Brothers goes, my favorite villain, Scorpion from Five Deadly.
Okay. Scorpion from Five Deadly Venoms or Five Venoms. Great. That's a great pick. And who's that played by? Did you write down the actor's name?
Yeah, it was Sun Chien.
Yeah, he's a great kicker.
Yeah,
He's like on my top 10, great kicker list, and of course that's like a classic Shaw Brothers film. That was one of the ones that really kind of like the tipping point of Shaw Brothers stuff, where like it was like, hey, I'm into these movies, but then when I saw that movie, it really like elevated things a bit. Oh, somebody chats. Hey, I missed it there. Dinby or something said. Let me go.
DJ, I see it too.
I got my thing there. That's a tricky one to say. Hey, how is the audio on your side that you're listening with me and Caleb? We're doing this co-live streaming thing is in beta and stuff. So hopefully you can hear us and see us both. So we'll do that. Let me get to my pick. So good pick. I can't deny. Yeah, spoilers for a movie that's what 35, 40, or when was that? 1970? Was that 78 or 79? Something.
78.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna go old school also with 1979. I've been recently watching the Shaw Brothers Volume Shaw Scope Volume 2, and I was thinking that I was going to go with the Magnificent Ruffians from 1979. We've got the Golden, I think his character's name is, I'm looking off my notes, Young Ying Fei, the Golden Sword, played by Feng Lu, one of the,
Yeah,
also one of the Venom Mob characters out there. And the reason why I went with this, or why it was just like memorable, it stood out, was just, first of all, he's got this big giant golden blade that like he has his henchmen carrying around with him, like wherever he goes. He's a
yeah,
bit, he's rich. He's kind of like this bully in town. He's very conniving and clever with trapping people. I mean, basically invites other martial artists to the town. To you've seen this before. Do you have the Shaw Scope Volume 2, Caleb? Yeah,
yeah.
he's
I watched
invite
the Ruffians a few, maybe a month ago, almost about a month ago. But yeah, I absolutely loved it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's great. He like invites people to his. He's like a rich guy, and he's like, "Hey, come on over. We'll talk about martial arts. We'll compare notes." And he's like, "Let's go and fight." And if your kung fu isn't so great, I'm just gonna kill you with my big giant golden blade.
Yeah, you may or may not die. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And so yeah, and I like his moves. I like that each of his moves has like names for it and something. And then the reason why he's like badass villain is because he's kind of a bit of a cheater. He uses a lot of times he uses the reflection of the sun to kind of blind his villains before he gets in there with the killing blow. So that was something that kind of stood out for me.
Hmm.
Let's see. It says the guy in chat says it is clear, so hopefully things are going smooth. We'll carry on, with things. So, all right. So let's talk about and of course, once it's talk about this, there's so many movies, so many villains. We're just like, all right, let's grab one to talk about. Let's jump over to Jet Li, who also has like a big giant catalog, a lot of movies and villains, and probably difficult to pick. But who'd you kind of narrow it down to, for one of your badass villain picks?
Excuse me. So Jet Li was that was really hard because I've seen a lot of his movies and they sound kind of like hot take too. But I think a lot of villains in Jet's movies, I guess ones, a lot of them for me didn't really stand out that except for Fist of Legend. That I can't remember who played him. I think it was Billy Chow. He was a good Fist of Legend. Very very uh, very tough fighter. He definitely gave Jet a run for his money in that movie. But for me, I always like my villains to be. I always like a personal story in kung fu movies, and for me, I have to say I think the best Jet Li villain, unless I go back and rewatch something and I change my mind, but right now my favorite Jet Li villain has to be Bart from Unleashed, who was played by the late great Bob Hoskins. He was an incredible actor, and I love one of my favorite. It's his best, if you ask me, but Bob Hoskins as Bart in that movie was just fantastic. He was the character you really loved to hate. He was just really evil and nasty, and he was very manipulative towards Jim's character. And I thought that was the perfect villain. He really knocked.
Yeah, great pick. I actually recently just picked up the double box set with Unleashed and Fearless not long ago. So somebody on eBay had it for like about $5, and I was like, oh, I haven't seen this for a while, and I don't know if I've ever seen the director's cut of the extended version of Unleashed. I actually saw Unleashed in the theaters way back in the day, and yeah, Bob Hopkins. I think that when it comes to he's not really a fighter guy in that, but it's like the psychological, the mental, like brainwashing kind of villain. So yeah, good pick. I haven't seen. So have you seen both versions of Unleashed? Is there like a big difference between the director's cut or the extended? Have you ever seen both versions?
I've only seen the unrated cut, like the theatrical one too. I haven't seen that one though, and I actually have the set that you're talking about, the Fearless Animation set, but I haven't watched the theatrical version of Unleashed. I've always seen the uncut version. What I would always go to. My that's just what my brain goes to, the uncut version. seen the theatrical one. So I don't know of any significant differences.
All right, I'll have to get back to you and see, after I see it. Let's see, Digby, if we're saying that right, we're going to consider Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith as a martial arts villain. What do you say? I mean, there's, sure, I'll give him a martial arts type thing when there's hand to hand fighting with some special effects. Definitely legendary, villain there. Are you a big Matrix fan?
Yes, I love the Matrix. I remember I used to play for all the I know you have a lot of gaming, so for all the gamer fans, Matrix Path of Neo on my PlayStation 2 all the time. I still have the game and I haven't played it in a while, but I used to play that game a lot and I loved it. So I'm a big Matrix fan. And yeah, I always loved Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith. He's
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Fist of Legend because that's actually who I went with when I was picking my Jet Li villain pick there. General Fujita, if I'm saying that right, played by Billy Chow in that. And first of all, Fist of Legend is probably my top Jet Li movie of all time. And that the reason why I was like thinking of him when I was kind of making my list was just like that he takes a lot of hits and he kind of shrugs them off. Like somebody will punch him in the face or kick him in the face, and he's just like, nah, like you didn't get me down. I'm gonna mess you up. And and he also has like kind of a killer like finishing move, like the lifting the dude up in the air, like the backbreaker thing. I was just like if you have a memorable finishing move, much like the Golden Blade had his like finishing moves, that kind of stood out to me, and just the guy's like super tall and intimidating and stuff. So that was why I went with Billy Chow, Fist of Legend, and I'll have to now just talking about it makes me want to like rewatch the movie or something.
Yeah, same here. I haven't watched it in a while. I watched it maybe almost a year ago. I bought a triple feature. It was Fist of Legend, My Father is a Hero, and Tai Chi Master. And I watched Fist of Legend first because that's a great movie. That's probably my second favorite Jet Li film. My favorite Fearless. I just love that movie. But Fist of Legend, yeah, is really awesome.
I'm just playing with my dog. Now that I'm live streaming, my dog has gotten up and he's like, "Hey, I want to play." So I'm playing tug of war off camera with my dog Scout. In case you're wondering what's happening there. Digby says he's upset that Hugo was recast in Matrix Resurrection. I haven't seen Matrix Resurrection. I'm assuming that's the fourth one. For me, it's the first one is where things kind of really are memorable for me to rewatch.
Yeah, I haven't seen Resurrections either. I remember I remember my dad saw it and did not like it, and he's a big Matrix fan, and did not like the fourth one. And he told me how he didn't like it, and so I was thinking, I don't like it either, so I didn't bother with it. And I still haven't seen it. I may, but I had actually heard that Hugo Weaving did do Resurrections because he had a scheduling problem. Like I think he was going to, but it just his didn't line up with. That's so I don't know if that's true or not. I believe that's why he was.
All right, well, let's jump over to the final one. Difficult choice here. What's like Jackie Chan villains? I mean, he's had so many great ones. I think with Jackie, he's had like different kind of villains. So some of them are really evil and bad, and some of them are like bad in the beginning, and then they become good or something. And there's that gray area. So this might have been difficult. But where did you go with when you were trying best villain for Jackie Chan?
Yeah, this was definitely the hardest one. A a villain that always stood out to me in Jackie Chan films. I pick, but this is just a standout for me. It was Sung Lee in Taking the. I really like him in that movie, and I love that movie itself. Um, so I've always really liked that villain. I thought Juntao from Rush Hour was pretty cool. He didn't much of him. I really liked him. He was intimidating in some ways. But for my pick for like best Jackie Chan villain, I'd have to go with Master Cam from The Young Master, who was played by Wong and Chick. I went with him because I think he was Jackie villain. Like I don't know who's the toughest villain, and I also don't think Jackie. The, I don't think Jackie really beat him. He ended up coming out on top, but he didn't win because he was the better fighter. He won because he could just dish it out. He could take it, and uh, he had the advantage of drinking the from the opium pipe, which gave the energy, and he was like really amped up on drugs and that. And so he just managed to last longer and take more punishment than it could. But yeah, I've always liked him because I've always felt that Jack's not the better fighter there. So I would say Master came from Master.
The Young Master. Now, which cut of the Young Master is your preferred? Do you have the Blu-ray? I think 88 films and like a Blu-ray not long ago. Do you have a favorite cut of that to watch if somebody picks up that Blu-ray?
Yeah, I do have that Blu-ray and I love it. That's a great release. One of '88's best releases. Yes. But yeah, I just like the Hong Kong theatrical cut. I think that's probably the best way to see it. I've watched both Japanese one and a regular export cut. I didn't really like either of those. The Japanese one's got the uncut fight, yeah, but I didn't really care for it. I thought it was really obnoxious and they cut too much of the final out. The version. So I would say theatrical is my favorite cut. That's a great cut.
All right, awesome. Let's see. Now, of course, I had a difficult time also, but I'm gonna go with Drunken Master 2. Unfortunately, like the version I have is like the Hong Kong Rescue version or something, which is the way to go if you can get your hands on it. But we're gonna go 1994. I guess the villain's name is John, played by Ken Lo, which I believe Ken Lo was like involved in Jackie Chan's like stunt team or his bodyguard or something like that. If I'm remembering kind of correctly. Again, another tall villain, great kicker. Like some of the kicking stuff that he does with his feet is just like phenomenal. Just the timing and the rhythm and stuff, and the fight scene at the end of Drunken Master 2 is just pretty legendary all around. Have you seen Drunken Master 2?
Yeah, that is my favorite movies that Jack has done. I'm not a big fan of the first Drunken Master, which yeah,
Oh,
I'm,
hot take.
yeah, I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for that, but I like it. Don't get me wrong, it's fine, but I don't really see it as Jackie's magnum opus like most people do. It's still fine. It's not a bad movie by any stretch. It's good, but I've always loved the second one way more. The second one is so much fun.
Yeah, way more polish, a little more in depth, and I think like when it comes to his OG ones, I think Snake and the Eagle's Shadow. That one's Eagle's Claw. Wait, I'm mixing up titles. Yeah, I've been watching so many kung fu movies now. I'm forgetting like what the heck things are called. But yeah, I like that one. Weighs in a little higher than Drunken Master. So, but yeah, Drunken Master 2, and and that fight scene, and then also with Ken Lo in Drug Master 2. I just remember like the first half of his fight. He still got his glasses on. So like you got to be like badass when you're like, I'm not even going to take off my glasses. I'm going to kick you. I'm going to punch you. I'm going to, nudge you with my chin or bite your ear off or something, and then finally he's like, all right, let me put these in my pocket and let's get down to business. So that was, that kind of stood out to me.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, this has been fun. Caleb, talking to you live streaming and talking about some martial arts villains. Hopefully, maybe we can do this again. Next month or soon or something. Come up with some more topics. And thanks, to anybody who's tuning in live and watching on the VOD. On the archive. Anything else you wanna add to the mix? Is there a movie you got in your queue that you're ready to watch soon, or a video coming up that you wanna tease or anything?
Um, Let me think. So I am working on my next one. It's going to be a video. I did my first one on the Tiger Cage movie. And so I'm going to do another one. And I'm still deciding what video or movie. Sorry, I'm still deciding what movie I'm going to cover in the bloodshed entry. It'll probably be Crime Story because I love that movie. That was like one of the very more bloodshed films I ever saw, and it's a very so I am working on that. As far as just what I'm watching, still I'm still combing through a lot of stuff. I just finished watching the Duty set from '88 films, which was a great set. I love those movies. I watched all four of them for the course of 4 days, and yeah, that was great. And I copies of Hand of Blaster Off for Blaster Off for free, some old school John Woo movies. I just got those Blu-rays in. So I'm gonna watch those as well. That's what I'm doing.
All right. Well, it's a good thing we got a holiday weekend. You get some hopefully some free extra time and stuff. So, all right. Well, I'll put a link to Caleb's YouTube channel in the description below when I fill out all the stuff after this uploads or whatever. And make sure you check it out. And thanks a bunch, Caleb. And thanks a bunch for anybody tuning in live or on the archive. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you for asking me. This was a lot of fun, and uh, this is one of the very first times I've been on somebody else's channel. I was on Flip Otaku's about a month ago, but and I've crossed over with Hong Kong and beyond. But this was kind of a bit of a first time thing for me, just kind of want somebody else. So asking me, I really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was fun.
Really.
All right. Well, we'll see you. We'll talk to you next time.
All right, thank you, man.
Bye bye.
All right, bye.